Hello and welcome to Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. As you probably gathered, I am Karen Chaston and it is amazing to have you all here today. So today we're going to deep dive into some of the different loss events that can affect our lives. I'm in the process of writing my 5th paperback book, which is called Loss Demystified. And I have to say, I just love being guided to write this book, because if you've been on my show before, if you've shared anything with me, I love to assist people to move beyond any kind of loss and to create their better everyday life. So welcome everyone. Let me know where you're from. Hi, Rashita from Sydney. I am fabulous today and I hope you are too. I'm sure you being in Sydney, it's a rainy day for you, like it is appears for most of the east coast of Australia. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Because when the rain comes, it cleanses everything away. And when the sun comes back out, and as we know, the sun is always shining, it just may be hidden behind the clouds and all those sort of things. But I have to tell you, I think you appreciate it more after you've had a few rainy days, that you can actually look at the sun and realize just how important it is in our lives to feel so connected to this beautiful fiery ball that gives us so much joy and love. But anyway, today I am going to talk about some of the different loss events, because as I said, I'm in the process of writing my book, Loss Demystified. That's the working title at the moment. And this is my 4th paperback book, but this one's going to be different. It is definitely being guided from the other side. Most of you are aware that I have my beautiful son, Dan, on the other side, but we all have guides. And I am so open to receiving so many guides and so many things that I know that if Dan hadn't have passed, I certainly wouldn't have been as open as what I am today. So, hi Azra, hi Linda, Devonport, Tasmania. What a beautiful spot that you are. I love Tasmania. I've only been to Hobart, but I have to say it was just had an amazing energy. It was fabulous. I was there for a work commitment back in, I think, 96, something like that. So I haven't been there for quite a while, but it was such a beautiful spot, and I'm sure all Tasmania is. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Bateman's Bay, beautiful Marlene. I hope the weather there is okay for you, and you're not in floods like it appears to be a whole lot of them. So as I said, there are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And when I first read that, which was quite a few years ago now, before I really started very early in my deep dive into becoming a Beyond Loss expert, I thought, no way, there can't be that many loss events that can affect our lives. And most of us do think that loss is death. And sure, death is a major part of it, but it's not the only one in this 40 plus different loss events. So let's have a look at the list. I'll go full screen on this so that you can have a look at it, because there's some of the minor ones that I want to discuss today, because over the weekend I have been writing chapters. To be quite honest, over the past week, I've written like 8,000 words into the book, because the more I get into it, the more I just can't stop. It's just so amazing. And sure, I have ebooks on the subject, but this is a deep dive into it, sharing some of the very different loss events that can happen to our lives, and the fact that we haven't ever really been taught how to move beyond loss. And that's what gets us stuck. That's what gets us into the spiral effect of sitting around and grieving and not really knowing what to do or how to move forward. Or in my case, what I did was I got into my get really busy mode after Dan passed, where I returned straight to work the day after his funeral, working even harder, which was ridiculous considering I was already working 6 days a week. But eating more, drinking more, not looking after myself. And to be quite honest, I disrespected Dan, and more importantly, I disrespected myself, because the easiest way to move beyond any kind of loss is for us to stop. And it's the stopping that is the hard part, because we all believe, oh, keep busy, give it time, everything will be all right. But it's not going to be all right, because your life is never going to be the same again. And that's what the 2020 pandemic has really taught us all. It's not going to be the same again. We're all creating a new kind of normal. And that's what loss is about. And the thing about the 2020 pandemic is that it brought a lot of the minor loss events to the forefront. You know, things like loss of freedom, loss of choice, loss of status, changing work conditions, changing recreational activity, changing social activities. And because we don't see them as a loss event, we don't understand why we may be feeling the way that we're feeling, why we just can't get out of bed, why we're not motivated, why we feel like we're grieving, but we don't understand why. And the more we talk about it to our friends and family, the more they go, what's wrong with you? Just get over it. It's this, it's that. And of course, it's not a matter of just getting over it. There's a process for you to deep dive into. And that's what I am sharing, obviously, in the Lost Demystified book, which I have decided will be published this year. And this is what you're going to love. Okay, so we're all guided, right? Do we listen? Maybe not. Are we aware? Maybe not. Well, since Dan has passed, I am very aware of the signs and the messages that I am continually receiving. But I'm no special. I'm not special or different to you or anyone else. We all receive the messages. Whether we notice them, maybe not. And that's what I love about what I share, is the fact that we are all guided. And I am no different to anyone else. You know, I am more tapped into my intuition, into my inner knowing. But I've done the work. I've done the exercises. I've done the deep dive into me so that I can become more aware of what's going on in my life. And it's through doing those exercises that I receive all these downloads. But it's really want everyone to understand you're all receiving them. And it could be in a thought, and you will know it's a different kind of thought, and it's sort of delivered in a different sort of way. And so it's, you know, it really is something for us all to understand that we, sorry, I got distracted by the comments that coming in, so I'll answer. Hi, Deidre. Great to see you here from the US. 7 p.m. your time. That means, are you on the East Coast? I could be wrong, but I would have thought you're roughly on the East Coast, or EST time. Jason, get over it is repression. It is repression, but it's also ignorance, because it's the fact that we say those things when we don't understand that. And sometimes it's not until we experience something for ourselves that we realize how we do and say things that are not ideal. But it's not a matter of beating yourself up on it. It's a matter of us realizing that for centuries and centuries and centuries, we have been guided that this is what you say. And sometimes you're better off saying nothing than repeating the age-old cliches and beliefs that really have no meaning for you. You know, when Dan passed, I had so many people say things to me. And now, as a Beyond Lost expert, I understand that they said them because they were uncomfortable and they didn't know what to say. But in reality, that's why I do what I do, to help people to be able to be comfortable around loss. Because don't you think it's time? It's, you know, loss is a major part of our lives. I just showed you there are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And that means that we're all going to have multiple major losses throughout our lives. I feel that we go through a life's journey from love to loss and then back to love again. So we're on this infinite journey where we are always traveling between love and loss. And of course, the quicker that we know how to receive the gifts or the lessons from the loss event, the quicker that we can move back into love. Now, love will be different after this loss event, but isn't life meant to be a journey? We're not going to always be stuck in exactly the same space. And that's what it's about. Now, Romina, my condolences on losing your son last year. It's not easy. It's nearly 10 years since I lost my son. And I have done a lot of the deep dive into me. If you'd like to have a chat, Romina, just private message me or email me, just for everyone. I've put my email address in the comments at the beginning. If not, I'll type it out again. It's really quite simple. It's karen@karenchaston.com.au. Happy to have a chat with you at any time. But as always, at the end of this session today, I will be sharing what I feel is one of the easiest ways for anyone to move beyond any kind of loss, and it's called the Revitalize Your Life series, which is a 45-day series that I love to share. And it's something that I truly wish that I'd had, like as a young teenager, when I was 12 when my grandfather passed away, and to understand what loss and life and loving is all about would be so much easier. Hi, Kat. I'm on the Gold Coast as well. Not sure if you're aware of that. Deb from rural WA, 5 homes since I lost my dad to cancer. Not easy, Deb. And look, for anyone, just reach out if you'd like to, either PM me, email me. Happy to have a complimentary 30-minute chat with you that may assist you to move beyond your loss. But I also highly recommend that you have a look at the Revitalize Your Life series, which I'll be sharing at the end, which is a 45-day. I've already shared the link, but I'll get it up again. Just check it out, because it is a 45-day series that really does assist you to come back to you. Let me just see where I'm at. To come back to you and to figure out that, during life, all the things, all the events that come into our lives, we sort of lose a bit of ourselves, especially if you've been a carer or you've been looking after children and sort of putting you behind the 8 ball, as so many of us do. We put ourselves last and we wonder why we're not creating the life that we live and love each and every day, that we're putting our dreams and hopes and aspirations on hold for another day. But there's one thing that Dan's passing in 2011 taught me, was that you are the only person that you are going to spend your entire life with. So why are you putting yourself last? Why are you giving up on your dreams? And that's what I love about this 45-day Revitalize Your Life series that I created late last year. And it is each day you get a new activity. It takes less than 45 minutes to do each of these activities. And because I know how important it is for you to reconnect to yourself and to revitalize your life after any kind of loss, I have purposely made this series $1 a day. That's $1 Australian today. So it's the total cost is $45, not $45 a day for 45 days. It is in total $1 a day for 45 days. And what I've found is, most people have finished their 45 days at the moment, and I'm getting these amazing comments from everyone just saying how much it really did help them to reconnect to themselves, to realize that they have been putting their life on hold. They haven't been living and looking after themselves. And that's why I love to share it each week here. But today I want to talk about not only revitalize your life, I would really love for you, I'm going to start to deep dive into some of the different loss events, right, which I had up before, and I'll bring up again, excuse me, while I do the controls. So if you have a look at some of these loss events, right, and if you count the things that have occurred in your life, you may be surprised at how many of these have actually occurred in your life. And believe me, I've done this many times, and I think the most has been a lady who said to me, I'm 40 and I've had 21 of those loss events that you've listed, which is huge, absolutely huge. So it's really important for us to understand that loss is going to keep coming to us. But the more we deep dive into it, the easier it is. So Shambhala, I'm going to read your comment. Yeah, you can totally feel how Deb is. Doing palliative care is like for 9 years for both your mum and dad is huge. And I am sure that in that process, you may have lost yourself, which is why I love to share the Revitalize Your Life, because it helps you to reconnect to who you are. But first of all, I'd like to say, Shambhala, and also to Deb, it's amazing that you put your life on hold to look after your aging parents and sick parents, because I'm sure at times it wasn't easy. But I'm sure they're also very, very grateful. And even though they have passed, I'm sure that they're showing you signs how grateful that they are for you. Who knows? They may have even made sure that you are here today to be on this call live with me. And I do appreciate you commenting and everything like that. So one of the loss events that I really would like to deep dive into today is a loss of your pets. You know, so many people devalue a loss of your pets and they go, why are you upset? You know, it's just your pet. But let's deep dive into your relationship with your pets. You know, what other relationship do you have that is an unconditional love like your pets? Who else greets you the way that your pets will, especially your dogs, when you come home? Like, I don't know. I've never found any other relationship where they jump up and down and they're so excited to see you and they just run to you and they jump up and they are so appreciated that you have come home. And I really want people to understand that when people lose a pet, and let's face it, we're lucky if we have our pets for, 15, 16, 20 years. But it's important for us to all to understand that I'm sure at times it's not easy being a pet. Who else will listen to you and not answer? Who else will look at you? Who else will jump up and give you that cuddle when they know that you need a cuddle? And it's important for us to know that it's a relationship that's just as valuable as any other relationship, be it with another human being, be it our parents, our partner, our children, our friends, our colleagues. It's really important for us all to understand that there is no hierarchy in loss, okay? So a death of a child does not trump a death of a pet, or a divorce, or a separation, or a job loss, or your health, or your wealth, or anything like that. So it's important for us all to understand that loss is loss, right? And in every relationship, there's 3 aspects to every relationship. So there's a physical aspect, and the physical aspect is the way that we hang out together, the things we do, the things we say, the things we don't do, the things we don't say. So that's the physical component of the relationship. Then we also have the emotional component of a relationship, and that's the way we feel about each other. And it's all encompassing of all of our feelings, the good, the bad, the glad, and the sad. And then the third aspect is our spiritual component, which is that intangible part that we know we are connected to this person, place, or thing, but we're just not sure how connected we are to this person, place, or thing. So when the loss event occurs, it is only the physical relationship, the physical aspect of our relationship that ends. The emotional and the spiritual lives on forever. And it's the emotional aspect of our relationship that causes us all of the grieving and the suffering. And it's important for us to understand this, because when we deep dive into the emotional part of the relationship, understand the emotions that we are feeling after this loss event, that is how the key to us healing and creating our better everyday life. It's painful. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy. But the more that we do it, the easier it becomes. And the more that we receive the lessons and the gifts in regards to this relationship. Now, there's always two people in a relationship, okay? So my husband and I had a different relationship with our son. So we grieved differently. We missed him differently. And of course, we did a different deep dive into our relationship in order for us to heal, so that we could come to love and peace and gratitude for the time that we had with him, but also for us to connect with him on the other side. Okay. So I'm just going to read some comments now. So type in anything else that you'd like to know. And I really appreciate you being here. And I know I talk fast. So just type in any questions. Good on you, Deb, for answering. For my son, he sends me signs all the time. Good on you, Ramina. And I'm sure he sends you signs all the time. And for people who are not receiving the signs from their loved ones, whether they're in this realm or beyond, it's really important to understand that they come in various forms. It could be in a song that you hear. It could be in something you read in a book or a magazine. It could be on a billboard or a street name, or even a number plate or a license plate, as the US people call them, on a car. There are so many different ways. It could be in an animal. It could be in an insect or a fly. Like Dan and my connection to each other is through rainbows and through dragonflies. And believe me, when I'm about to do something completely different or unusual for me, I'll always see a dragonfly, which is the most amazing confirmation that he's there with me and he's proud of me and he's got my back and he's traveling along. You know, just the other day I was going to do something completely different, and as I pulled up, I just looked outside my car window and there were 3 dragonflies. So I didn't just get one confirmation, I got 3. I don't know whether he thought I didn't have my contacts in, because he made sure there was 3 so I could see them. But it's so great to have that connection. Whereas with my dad, who is on the other side, who passed away, 18 years ago nearly in 2003, he shows me through feathers. And each time I see a feather on the ground, I always say, "Hi, Dad, how are you? What's the message that you would like to say for me?" So there's so many different ways that they will connect with you. And if you don't know, just ask and you will know. Just ask the question, is this you? Is this your sign? And you will just be able to get it. And it's so amazing when you understand that. Some guidance, please. What's coming up for me? Okay, Jessica, I am not a medium. I do not give forward messages. All I do is I assist people to move beyond loss. So I totally understand if this is not what you hear. I don't do messages like that. That is not what I'm about. I assist you to heal from any sort of loss that has happened in your life. I will give you the guides, and more importantly, I give you the tools so that you can actually tap into your own inner knowing, and we all have it, and then you don't require anyone else to give you some guidance. You actually can provide your own guidance to yourself. And isn't that a better way to be? No one else has walked an inch in our steps, in our shoes. We're the only ones that have had all of the events that have happened in our lifetime to make us who we are today. So when we start to tap into ourselves, we start to tap into our inner knowing. We start to tap into the fact that you are the master you are seeking. And it's a really great place to be, because you no longer have to ask other people for the best way for you. You start to do the work so that you really do become the master you are seeking. And through that guidance, you just know what is the best step forward for you. What is the things that you can do so that you create the reality? And sometimes it's just through a lack of clarity that you don't really know how to do that. And that's why I highly recommend the Revitalize Your Life series, because that will assist you to reconnect to you, the real you, okay? The you that you may have sort of lost along your life's journey. Because let's face it, life does chip away at us, and we do start to do things for other people. So people like us, or we're happy, or we think we're happy, or a job may have made us the way that we are. It's always about you coming back to your love, your joy, your awareness, all the things that light you up and make you feel fulfilled. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Let me go back to here. Jessica, and I love the way you spell your name. I've never seen it spelt like that. It's beautiful. It reminds me of my daughter-in-law. Her name's Angelica, and she's a KA as well, which is beautiful. So, yeah. Okay, Shambhala, definitely I have. That's fantastic. Well, it's not fantastic that you divorced after 31 years, but it sounds like you're in a really good place, Shambhala, which is good on you. I'll just put your little message up here so everyone can see it. And it says, I do know my parents were more than grateful, and I'm sure they were. I'm sure they showed you so many signs to have you there looking after them. Rosie, my granddaughter's, yeah, I sort of get that. I really do. I totally understand that, there's no way that you could have your grandchildren end in foster care, especially when you see so many movies about foster care and things like that. So, Tracy, I'm glad you're getting a whole lot of signs. And before I finish, Shambhala, good on you for being the person that you are. I am sure that your grandchildren will also be very grateful for the life that you are providing for them, and also showing them the love and gratitude on how to live life and how to live life with kindness and love for another one. Tracy, I'm glad you're getting all the signs. Azra, your son's, do I text him or not? Has his name changed and his brain washed by lies, or do I let it be? Tap into your inner knowing, Azra. Do you ever use a pendulum? Because I have found a pendulum is an amazing way for you to start to tap into your inner knowing. So let me show you a pendulum and a quick way on how to use it. So here's a pendulum that I always like to use, and I'm using it less and less and less because obviously I'm tapping more and more into my inner knowing. But the thing is, I love to be able to show people how to use it. Okay, so first off, you can only ask questions that have a yes or no answer. So in order to do that, you need to figure out what your yes is. So the first question you ask yourself is, show me my yes. Now, as you can see, my yes goes forwards and back. Then I go, show me my no. Okay, and as you can see, my no goes sideways. Okay, so my yes goes forward and my no's goes sideways. Show me my maybe. Now I've got a yes going forwards, I've got a no going sideways, and a maybe sort of going around in a circle. The next question to ask is, am I hydrated? It's really important that you are hydrated, because otherwise you're going to get a false positive on the next question that you ask. So as you can see, yes, I am hydrated. So I've asked those 3 questions. Okay. So from there, you ask yourself some inner guidance that you would really love to have. Okay. So Sue, tap in and ask your own inner guidance. I'm not sure what you would love. Some inner guidance on, if it's about a job, if it's about a decision, some clarity that you want. I highly recommend that you invest in the Revitalize Your Life, because I'm telling you now, the 45 days of activities will assist you to reconnect to you, where you will receive your own inner guidance. Because it's really important that we start to trust ourselves. We are the only person that we are going to spend our entire life with. So it's important for us to make sure that we start to put ourselves first, that we start to realize that the more that we put ourselves first, the more that we will be living and loving our lives, the more that we'll become the example for others to follow. And we will also be a guide. We will be there more for our other people than we ever would have been when we give, and not receiving for ourselves. So I highly recommend that you tap into that. But in saying that, I do have a universal message for everyone who is either on this call live or watching it later. And I love to look at these cards, which are the Channel Spiritual Guidance cards from Marcia Quinton. And I just think them. So before I came on, I picked a card and I came up with number 6, which, as you can see, is the mystical soul. So this is a message for everyone who is listening today. So let's tap into this. Right. Mystical souls, creator of dreams. Right. Isn't that what we all want? Okay. A mystical soul has arrived to grant your wishes and dreams. Wishes will be granted as you dream. She will open the doors to new realms of awakening where dreams come true and the portals to create your best life are left unhinged. Her gift is one of great beauty as she lives between the planes of life and dreams. This is where creation begins, a place of true magic and where dreams take on reality and glow with vibrant, translucent energies. She will guide you forward as you hold the key to all your dreams. Today, she has come into your world to awaken a dream that is most precious to you, that you hold close within your heart. She will urge you forward to turn the lock and open yourself to all of your dreams and let them be created in your living world. Isn't that the most amazing card for today? I hadn't read all of it. I read the first paragraph before we came on. But let's face it, are you listening to your dreams? Are you remembering your dreams? And you can command when you go to sleep, you can actually say to your guides, I command to be able to remember my dreams. And they will assist you to remember your dreams. Now, it's important for us to remember our dreams because there are so many messages in our dreams. Our loved ones come to visit us in our dreams. And why wouldn't we want to remember? Now, Azra, as I said, I would really love for you to be able to use your pendulum. And I believe that your yes, I use it is a pendulum. So tap into that to see if it is in your highest interest for you to connect with your son today on his birthday. And have love and gratitude for wherever you are at the moment, because the more that you learn to live and love your life and connect back to you, the more the energy will go out and he will receive that energy. We're all energetically connected. And he will know that it's time for him to come back and to, I guess, unbrainwash the lies, and he'll let you back in. Because that's all you got to do. I know that years ago, I had a friend for 16 years and then we lost contact for 21 years. We had a falling out and for 21 years we didn't speak. But she's been back in my life for over 3 years now. And our friendship is different, but it's better. And of course it's going to be different. We're so much older. We're so much different. But for probably about 2 years before we reconnected, I would always, when she would pop into my mind or I'd have a memory of her or something, I would send her love and gratitude. And I would say, I hope you are living and loving your life. And thank you for our friendship. I would really love to reconnect again. And then, of course, it happened. A joint friend ran into her and she asked about me and she said, how is she? I've missed her over the years. And she said, right, here's her phone number. Here's her contact. Get reconnected. And that's what happened. But I know that I had energetically centered love and gratitude. I had released any of the angst, any of the reasons why I had worked through our falling out. I'd worked through so much that I just knew that eventually that would happen. And I highly recommend that that's what you do, because believe me, when you do that, it will be amazing. We're all connected through energy. We all will feel it. He will feel your love and support, and he will know, Ezra, how much he is missing you as well. Because how could you not miss your mum? You know, he chose you as his mum. And he's probably chosen this lesson for both of you to learn and grow through. So do it with love and gratitude. Receive the lessons. And believe me, your relationship will be all the better for it. And I'm pretty sure that he is missing his mum on his birthday. So even if you send it through a text, or whether you send it virtually through just, you know, sitting quietly and visualizing him and sending him all the love and the gratitude and wishing him a happy birthday, you know, he'll receive it one way or the others. I can guarantee that will happen. Okay, continue on with the notes. Okay, Sue, I've answered your question re guidance. Hopefully I've answered your question re guidance. I can't remember if it was you or someone earlier, but anyway, as I said, I don't do guidance. Yep. So let's say, Kaz. My wife has a similar thing with her mother. Okay. Whenever we use a 5-cent coin, we say, hi, Mum, or hi, Mary. Isn't it amazing that you can connect that way with her? It's so nice, a 5-cent coin. You know, doing things differently is also a great way to be rewarded. Like the other day, last Saturday, I was driving to a shopping centre where I normally park in this particular area. And I had a quick look and I saw it was like, you know, quite crowded. And I thought, sure, I might get one. But I chose to park somewhere differently. I parked on the street across the road and I thought, this is fine. As I hopped out of the car, there was a $2 coin on the ground. Of course, I picked it up. Of course, I had gratitude. I'm not sure if you're aware, but $2 or any coin carries exactly the same energy as an infinite number of wealth. So I looked at it and I said, wow, I have just picked up $200 billion in this $2 coin. And I had gratitude and I had thanked. And I was very, very aware that I was rewarded for doing something differently. And, you know, Einstein has this quote that he always used to say, if you continue to do exactly the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different outcome or a different result, well, there's something wrong with you because you're an idiot. That's what he's basically, it's a sign of insanity, as he said. So start to do things differently. So, you know, with some of the advice that I've sort of given today, you know, whether it's to connect with your loved one on the other side or in this realm, do something differently. Don't do something that you would always do, but sit quietly and do some deep breathing and connect to your heart. Even put your hands on your heart as you close your eyes and deep breathe into your belly. And ask the questions, you know, what is the best way for me to do this today? What is the best way to do it? So that you can get your inner answers. As I said, do it with a pendulum or just sit quietly and just feel in your body. You will receive the answers. And it comes to you in a similar way to a thought, but you just know it's different. You know, it's something that maybe you would never have thought of yourself in the way that it comes, believe me. Dan had plants these amazing ideas into my head. The things that I have done in the 9.5 years since his passing, there's no way I would have ever thought of them myself. I just know that he plants these ideas into my head, which I'm happy with, you know, and then, of course, I check to make sure that it is his inner guidance and things like that. So it's really, really beautiful. I hope that answers some of your questions. Is there any more questions? Because I'm looking at this. Hi, Janina. Shambella, thank you for thanking me. Azra, I'm so glad that you use it. And Roz, good on you for using it. It is an amazing tool. And it's just, you're literally tapping into your unconscious. And that's what I was saying earlier about the relationship, every relationship, how it's the emotional relationship that causes you all the grief and suffering. Your pendulum can really assist you to deep dive into your emotions. Now, your emotions are energy in motion, emotions. And the fact that we stop them in the flow of the motion is the fact that what causes us all the grieving and suffering. If we deep dive into what this feeling is about, what is it that I require to heal? Is it something I did? Is it something I said? Is it something they did? Is it something they said? Is there something I have regrets over? Or, you just deep dive into that emotion so that it can flow through you when you get the answers. Sure, another emotion may come to you, but it's just a process that you can deep dive into so that you can gain the answers from your unconscious, because your unconscious remembers every single millisecond of your life, of every relationship. So it has the answers as into why you are feeling the way that you're feeling. It's painful. It can be painful, but it doesn't have to be, because the more you do it, the less painful it is, so that you are quickly coming back to the love, as I said, so you can move beyond this loss and come to the love. And then more importantly, it gives you the clarity to know what is the best steps forward, the best choices for you to make moving forward. And that's what it's all about, is you having clarity in your life, which is why I created the Revitalize Your Life 45-day series. It really does assist you to reconnect to you, to give you the clarity, the joy, and the fulfillment that you are looking for in your life. And believe me, everyone who has done this 45 days is amazed at how far they have drifted from themselves. But more importantly, they're very, very grateful that they have the answers on to know how to make them the most important person in their life once again. Because believe me, if you feel that there is something missing in your life, more than likely that someone is you. And that's what this Revitalize Your Life really does have. It assists you to really come back to you. Okay, so here is the link again for you to connect. It's $45 total. You get 45 days of different activity each day, a different realization, a different remembering that you will have that when you do this activity. And believe me, it takes less than 45 minutes each day. And if you don't have 45 minutes in your day, reach out to me, because I have always been able to find at least 10 hours a week for every single person who I have worked for. And I will be more than happy to show you how to gain that 45 minutes for each day so you can do this activity. Enjoy, not stressed, because believe me, the more you do it, the more time you will create, because you are coming back to you to live and love your life. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, hi, Wendy. I think I've got all the comments. If not, let me know. Yep. Hi, Wendy. Great to see you here. And Azra, good. I'm so happy that you are right. I had to take a phone call. What is the use of the pendulum, please? Okay, Deb. Not sure if I've started to answer that, but okay. So what the pendulum does is it assists you to reconnect to your unconscious mind, okay? As I said, it remembers every single millisecond of your life, and it provides you with the answers on yes or no answers for the best way forward for you, for your higher self. And we all have a higher self. We're all here on a journey of learning many lessons, of growing as an individual. We are the only person that we will spend our entire life with. We are all spiritual beings having a human experience, and it's not easy. So what the pendulum does is it assists you to get your yes and no answers. Now, show me my yes is forward. Show me my no, okay, is sideways. Show me my maybe, and you will see it will go into a circle. Now, it may be different for you, your yes, your no, and your maybe, but you just got to find that out, and you just say it by show me. When you use your pendulum, and a pendulum can be anything. It doesn't have to be this specially designed, purposely built pendulum. But I'm happy to, as I said earlier, and you will see earlier in the comments my email address, which is karen@karenchaston.com.au. If you'd like to have a quick 30-minute call, more than happy to. Just email me and we can set up a convenient time to chat. But I highly recommend that you actually deep dive into this Revitalize Your Life series, because that will provide you with your answers in your time, okay? 45 days, 6 weeks. So imagine if you then have all the clarity, the joy, and the love and the fulfillment in your life. How different would your life be if you had clarity on the best way forward for you? How different would your life be? Because what I have found, that we can get ourselves to here. To go up to here or up to here, we require a mental. We require a different way of doing things, a different perspective, just more clarity. And that's why I designed this Revitalize Your Life. And that's why I've purposely made it $1 a day. Because I know that when you know and love who you are and make you a priority in your life, that is how you create the best life for you. And when you are living and loving your life, everyone around you will start to do the same, because you become the example on how to live and love your life, which is why I do what I do. I did this journey for myself. That's how I created everything, because I went looking for a better way to do loss, which is how I became Beyond Lost Expert. But more importantly, I want to live in a world where people know how to move beyond their loss, so that they know how to get back to love. And I don't know about you, but imagine the world if we all knew how to do that. Imagine if we didn't have to go into our avoidance tactics. And we've created a world which is full of avoidance tactics: food, alcohol, drugs, working too much, being angry, shopping too much, exercising too much, Netflix deep dives for way too long, binge watching. We've created a world which is so that we can avoid the pain. Whereas when we deep dive into it and get the message from it and allow it to flow through us, energy, emotions, that's how we can create the world that we all want to live in. And I don't know about you, but I honestly feel that that is time for that. Right. Deb, I'm glad you understand what the pendulum is about. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is my show for this week. Any questions? Type them in now, because I have come to the end of what I really would like to have said today. But I really feel it's important for us to understand all of these different loss events. Let me bring it up again. It's really important for us to know and understand, because the more we understand how many different loss events there are in their life, the more that we can understand, oh, wow, this is a grief situation. Right, I need to do things differently. I don't need to just get over this. I need to deep dive into this, and I need to figure out what it means for me now and what it means for me moving forward. Because when I understand all of that, I really can move forward. Ginia, I do not do messages from the other side. I am not a medium clairvoyant. I help people to connect to themselves so that they can receive their messages from their dad, so that they can receive messages on how to move forward and to live and love their lives. I trust that you understand that. I am not a medium. I'm very intuitive for myself. We're all very intuitive of ourselves. But I also know that I am the master I am seeking. So I have learned how to be able to do the deep dive into me. Ginia, look for the signs. Your dad is giving you signs. He's probably brought you here today to assist you to start trusting in yourself. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And I highly recommend that you invest $45 in yourself so that you can reconnect to you, so that you can get all of your messages from your dad. Believe me, he loves you. He is with you all the time. And he is probably got you by the shoulders and going, come on, Ginia, let's go this way and let's go that way. Because he doesn't want you to be sad. He wants you to know that his time came when it was meant to come. And you had always agreed that you would live so long together and then you would learn to live without him. And he knows that he's on to his next adventure. He doesn't want you to be sad. He wants you to remember him with love and fondness and kindness, but to know that he's always with you and that you agreed for the journey together and you agreed that it would end at a certain time in this realm. You've probably been connected in very many, many, many different lifetimes, and you will always be spiritually and emotionally connected. So do the healing. And that's all I can say. I hope that makes sense. Reach out if you would like to ask me any more questions. My email address I have shared, and it's in the thread. It's in the beginning and it's also in the thread. So I think I have come to a time, unless there is any more questions, type them in quickly. And always know that there is great love here for you. I'm here at this time every week. I love to share different messages each week. We don't always talk about the same thing, believe me. But we always know that life is a journey, okay? It doesn't have to be a really horrible, complicated journey. It is a journey where you can easily come back to love and live and love all of your life. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Ezra, for saying I really appreciate your help. As I said, reach out and invest in yourself, because believe me, when you do, when you start to revitalize your life, you'll be amazed at all of the experiences that you will bring into your life. Because when you revitalize your life, you really will have the clarity, the joy, the love, and the fulfillment that you've probably been searching for way too long. Bye for now, and I'll see you all next week. Stay in touch.